messing with guards, misjudging your teleportability, and accidentally getting spotted and killed. Everything you loved about Dishonored is here in DeathLoop, but does DeathLoop stand up as a good experience on its own? Let's find out. This video is brought to you by you. If you're going to enjoy this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments down below any questions that you have about DeathLoop. I'll be sure to answer them for you. Now let's go. Thanks to Bethesda ANZ for providing me with a code. DeathLoop is a new first-person shooter from Arkane Lyon, the studio behind Dishonored. In DeathLoop, however, you set aside the masked assassin of Dunwall for the wisecracking and amnesia-ridden cult of Blackreef, constantly at odds with Juliana, who will hunt you down through murdering and exploring the island. I played the game on PS5 using the standard performance mode. While DeathLoop isn't looking to be an ultra-realistic game, it looks stunning, and despite a few performance issues where frames dropped below 30 in some of the more tense areas, I really enjoyed the graphical style of the game and felt that it looked really fantastic, especially the interconnectivity of some of the locations where you might be at a certain location in the evening and you can see events happening at other locations as well at that same time. It looks beautiful all the way through. The game teaches you that if at first you don't succeed, die again. And you absolutely will be dying a lot in Blackreef, whether by your own fault or by a player-controlled Juliana invading your game. At the end of the day or by death, Colt will be thrust back to the start of the first day, which is what they call the loop, and have to take up arms against Juliana and the 8 visionaries again. These loops are set between 4 different times of day: morning, noon, afternoon, and evening across 4 different locations. At each time of the day, you can pick one of these locations to explore, look for clues on how you can take down the visionaries, look for equipment upgrades, and collect residuum, the central currency you will use to infuse items for use across multiple loops. These items ranging from things from personal trinkets to weapons to weapon trinkets to the slabs, which is the abilities that you will collect throughout the game. I was originally skeptical that only having 4 locations would get dry very quickly. However, each location is extremely detailed with fully realized interiors and exteriors that are often themed around specific items of shops or different things. At each time of day, there are differences in these locations themselves. Certain doors that were otherwise locked may be open to you, and this will allow you to solve different puzzles or learn new information that will bring you one step closer to your overall goal. The Eternalists will be on the move throughout the day as well, participating in different activities or moving to different areas, which all feeds into the life of these locations, keeping them feel fresh throughout the 15 or so hours it took me to complete DeathLoop's main story. Colt and Juliana and the rest of the main cast are very well written and voice acted, and I found myself laughing out loud at some of the more comical moments of the game between Colt and Juliana, the main pair of characters that you will be listening to throughout the game. The music and atmosphere is also a huge standout.
Shit, I got a whole bunch of axioms and bullshit to give you. Hello? Hello? Jules? Oh well.
What's that?
Arkane have been top tier at level design and gameplay for a long time, and DeathLoop is another standout here. Building on the Dishonored base, they have crafted intricate levels and puzzles that fans of Dishonored or even Prey will enjoy. There are not only environmental puzzles, but the Eternalists and the Visionaries are puzzles in themselves, and based on the decisions you make earlier in the day or in a previous loop, Visionaries may relocate or do different things, meaning you'll need to change up your strategy so you can find them and kill them, not only to break the loop, but also for those valuable upgrades. The gunplay is tight, responsive, and really enjoyable. I often found myself fighting Eternalists and taking them out even if I didn't need to, because of the satisfying headshot stealth sound and just the general fun of the combat. Each gun is unique with its own weighty sounds that feel grounded in the game's universe. The disappointing aspect of this, however, is that it can be hard to show off your sweet guns and equipment and moves when a large portion of the possible combat encounters is just one-shotting Eternalists that are in your way. The AI on these characters is very basic, and there is no difficulty setting if you want to make them more aggressive to follow you for longer distances or increase their field of vision, which is a very narrow cone from what I have found. They will quickly become trivial as you sprint around each location to complete whatever your main objective is for that time of day. These Eternalists aren't there to be challenging though. They are basically extra sprinkles on top of the puzzle ice creams that you will be completing throughout the game. I would, however, like a difficulty setting or a hard mode just to make them more challenging. Once you do get to a point where you're very overpowered, they just become trivial. The main source of combat difficulty comes from Juliana, whether it's an AI-controlled Juliana or a player-controlled Juliana invading your game and hunting you down. Their primary objective to kill you and stop you from breaking the loop. You will lose whatever gear and residium you have collected on that specific loop as well. These moments are some of the best moments in the game, and also some of the most frustrating if she invades at the wrong time. The stories that these creates though from these emergent moments and these chance encounters are well worth telling. When a Juliana invades and camps along the castle walls where you need to go, but you manage to sneak around and take her out from the back or end up sniping them from a distance, it's very satisfying. Conversely, playing as Juliana and taking out unsuspecting cults is just as fun. I have been still playing Deathloop after the story as Juliana and having a great time. Juliana has her own progression system based around killing cult various different ways or surviving a certain time when you are invading. Juliana can load herself up with various trinkets, weapons and slabs the same as cult. However, you don't have the hack-a-majig device that cult has in favor of a masquerade ability which allows you to take the appearance of an Eternalist. The protecting the loop mode is very fun, and I have found myself really enjoying this mode as a way to unwind when I've got sick of trying to find a specific puzzle or solve a different situation with a visionary, and jumping in as Juliana, invading some cults and just kind of having a good time was a really good way to break up that general gameplay loop that you experience as cult. The overall mystery of the game is how do you break the loop as cult? Solving the mystery of Black Reef and why this day continues to loop is a satisfying mystery throughout. I really enjoyed finding notes and tapes that gave me little pieces of information that pushed the story forward and gave me little tidbits of information of how I might take out these visionaries. This was really enjoyable, and finding these clues and trying to puzzle them together and how you could find the best way to take out the visionaries, I enjoyed that challenge of a puzzle. Solving the primary puzzle of breaking the loop was very enjoyable once I thought that I'd figured it out and I put my plan into action. However, the ending payoff was a letdown for me. I didn't feel that the hard work of piecing the puzzle together and the hours I had put into collecting all of this information, putting it all together and putting my plan into action was worth the end reveal. The journey itself is very fun and engaging and definitely worth the price of admission. However, the end payoff just wasn't it for me. I personally found it confusing. I feel like it didn't respect the time I had put in to collect all of this information about what's happening on the island and all of the different people to then give me a very poor ending to this really enjoyable game otherwise. I rate games on a buy, wait for a sale or ignore scale, and Deathloop is a buy for me personally. If you like Arkane's previous titles, you won't be disappointed here, and for newcomers there is some great gunplay, some roguelike elements, and a well-realized world and lore to explore. Check out my tips video which will be going live shortly after this video. If you have any questions about the game, please put them in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. Otherwise, follow me on Twitter, Instagram and on Twitch. Thank you for watching. My name is NorZZa and I hope you have a great day.